an empire that lasted 623 years, ruled 3 continents, 30 million people, vanished in one day, from a small tribe to the power that terrified Europe for centuries. The Ottoman Empire rose higher than Rome, lasted longer than the Mongols, conquered lands from Vienna to Mecca. At its peak, sultans controlled the Mediterranean, the Middle East, North Africa, and Eastern Europe. They held the keys to trade between East and West. They were the gatekeepers of 3 religions' holiest sites. But in 1922, all ended. The longest-lasting empire in history, gone. This is the complete story. The rise, the golden age, the decline, the fall. The Ottoman Empire, 623 years. 1299 Anatolia is chaos. The Seljuk Empire has collapsed. The Byzantine Empire is dying. Dozens of Turkish tribes fight for control of the ruins. One tribe is led by Osman I, a minor chieftain. Nobody expects him to matter, just another warlord in a land full of them. But Osman has a vision. He dreams of a tree growing from his body, its branches spreading across the entire world, covering nations, sheltering peoples. He declares independence from the dying Seljuks, names his followers Osmanlis, Ottomans. Osman begins conquering Byzantine border towns, one by one. Bursa, Nicaea, Nicomedia. The Byzantines can't stop him. Their empire has been bleeding for centuries. 1326, Osman dies. His son Orhan takes over. Orhan moves faster, takes more Byzantine territory, then does the unthinkable, crosses into Europe. 1327, a massive earthquake destroys the walls of Gallipoli. Orhan's troops pour through, first Ottoman foothold in Europe. The Byzantines are now surrounded, trapped on all sides. Orhan creates something revolutionary. The Janissaries, elite slave soldiers, Christian boys taken from conquered lands, converted to Islam, trained from childhood to be warriors, loyal only to the Sultan. They become the most feared military force in the world. 1362 Murad I becomes Sultan. He wants Europe, takes Adrianople, renames it Edirne, makes it the new Ottoman capital. Constantinople is now isolated, an island in an Ottoman sea. The Balkans fall. Serbia, Bulgaria, parts of Greece, one by one. 1389 Battle of Kosovo. The Serbs make a desperate last stand. Murad's army crushes them. But during the celebration, Serbian knight sneaks into Murad's tent, stabs him to death. Murad's son Bayezid is right there. He immediately takes command, executes his own brother on the spot to prevent civil war. The Ottomans don't miss a beat. Bayezid I earns his nickname, Yildirim, the Thunderbolt. He moves at lightning speed, conquers what's left of the Balkans, besieges Constantinople multiple times. The Byzantine capital should fall, but somehow it holds. Barely. 1402 Battle of Ankara. Tamerlane the Mongol invades Anatolia with a massive army. Bayezid faces him. His army is destroyed. He's captured, dies in a cage. The empire nearly collapses. Civil war erupts. Bayezid's sons fight each other for the throne. For 11 years, chaos, but one son survives. Memdi. He defeats his brothers, reunites the shattered empire, saves it from extinction. The stage is set for the Golden Age. 1451 Mehmed II becomes Sultan. Age 19, everyone underestimates him. A boy sultan, weak, inexperienced. Mehmed has one obsession: Constantinople, the city that's resisted for 1,000 years. The jewel of Christendom, the city that stopped his great-grandfather. April 6, 1453. Mehmed surrounds Constantinople with 80,000 soldiers. The defenders have 7,000. The odds are impossible, but Constantinople has the Theodosian walls, triple-layered, 40 feet thick, never breached in 1,000 years. Mehmed brings the impossible, the largest cannons ever built, Urban's monster cannons, firing 1,200-pound stone balls. The sound heard for miles. For 53 days, the cannons pound the ancient walls. Day and night, the walls crack, but they hold. May 29th, Mehmed orders the final assault. Dawn attack. He throws everything at the walls. Wave after wave. Azabs. Bashi bazooks. Janissaries. Sipahis. At sunrise, the Janissaries find a small gate, the Kirka Porta, left unlocked by accident. They pour through. Constantine I, the last Roman emperor, throws off his imperial regalia, picks up a sword, charges into the breach, dies fighting, his body never identified. Constantinople falls. Mehmed renames it Istanbul, makes it his capital. The Byzantine Empire is dead after 1,123 years. The Ottoman Empire is reborn as a superpower, but Mehmed doesn't stop. Serbia, Bosnia, Albania, Wallachia, Greece, Crimea. He tries Hungary, fails at Belgrade. Jay knows Hunyadi stops him, but he takes most of the Balkans. Dies in 1481 at age 49, planning to invade Italy. His empire stretches from the Danube to the Euphrates. 1512 Selim I takes power, called Yavuz, the Grim. He earns the name, executes his brothers, his nephews, his grand vizier, anyone who might threaten him. Rules by fear, but he's effective. Turns east, defeats the Safavid Persians, conquers Syria, Egypt, Arabia, takes Mecca and Medina, the holiest sites in Islam. The Ottomans become the Caliphate, religious authority and political power combined. Selim doubles the empire's size in 8 years, then dies suddenly, possibly poisoned. 1520 Suleiman I become Sultan. Europeans will call him the Magnificent. Ottomans call him Kanuni, the lawgiver. He becomes the greatest of all Ottoman sultans. 1521, he takes Belgrade, the fortress that stopped Mehmed the Conqueror. Revenge 65 years later. 1522, conquers Rhodes from the Knights Hospitaller. After a brutal 6-month siege. 1523, Battle of Moses. Crushes the Hungarian army, kills their king. Hungary becomes an Ottoman vassal. 1524, besieges Vienna, the heart of Europe. Fails due to weather and supply lines, but terrifies the entire continent. The Ottoman threat is real. Under Suleiman, the empire reaches its absolute peak. Militarily, economically, culturally, arts flourish. Architecture reaches new heights. The Sulaimani Mosque, masterpiece of Ottoman architecture, still standing. Legal reforms. The Canon, secular law alongside religious law. Economic prosperity. Trade routes between East and West controlled. Wealth pours in. The Ottoman court is the most magnificent in the world, more splendid than any European palace. But Suleiman makes a fatal personal mistake. His favorite wife, Roxolana, convinces him that his eldest son Mustafa is plotting against him. Mustafa is competent, popular with the army, the obvious heir. 1533, Suleiman orders Mustafa executed, strangled with a bowstring, standard Ottoman method. His best son, his rightful heir, gone, based on lies. The weaker sons inherit. Selim II, called Selim the Drunkard. The quality of sultans declines. The rot begins. 1566, Suleiman dies during a campaign in Hungary, age 71, after 46 years as sultan. The longest reign, the greatest reign. The empire will never be this powerful again. After Suleiman, the sultans weaken. Many are incompetent, some are insane, raised in the cafes, the cage, locked in palace rooms to prevent coups. They emerge damaged, paranoid, unfit to rule. The Janissaries become a problem. Once elite warriors, now hereditary caste, more interested in politics than fighting. They overthrow sultans they don't like, become kingmakers. The military stagnates. European armies modernize, adopt new tactics, new weapons. The Ottomans fall behind. 1571, Battle of Lepanto. The Ottoman navy faces a Holy League fleet. Spain, Venice, Papal States, Genoa. The Ottoman fleet is crushed. 30,000 casualties. First major naval defeat. The myth of Ottoman invincibility is shattered. 1683, Second Siege of Vienna. Grand Vizier Kara Mustafa leads 150,000 troops. This time, Vienna will fall, but Polish king Jan Sobieski arrives with reinforcements. The largest cavalry charge in history, 18,000 horsemen, smashes into the Ottoman lines. The Ottomans flee. Kara Mustafa executed for failure. The Ottoman advance into Europe ends forever. 1699 Treaty of Karlowitz. The Ottomans give up Hungary. First time in history, they cede territory in a peace treaty. The empire stops expanding, starts shrinking. The 18th and 19th centuries are slow death. Nationalist movements. Greeks rebel. Serbs. Bulgarians. Arabs. Everyone wants independence. Russia pushes from the north, wants access to warm water ports. Austria pushes from the west. Britain and France maneuver for advantage. The Ottoman Empire becomes the sick man of Europe. Everyone is waiting for it to die, arguing over who gets what pieces. Sultans try to reform. The Tanzimat reforms, modernize the military, the legal system, grant constitutional rights. Too little, too late. The empire is too big, too diverse, too corrupt. Reforms fail. 1908 The Young Turks Revolution. Military officers force Sultan Abdul Hamid II to restore the constitution. 2 years later, they depose him. The Sultanate is a puppet. Real power is with the Committee of Union and Progress. 1914 World War I begins. The Ottomans make a fatal choice. Join the Central Powers. Side with Germany and Austria-Hungary. They fight on multiple fronts. Gallipoli, the Caucasus, Mesopotamia, Arabia, Palestine. Gallipoli 1915. British and French try to force the Dardanelles, take Constantinople, knock the Ottomans out of the war. The Ottomans hold. Mustafa Kemal leads the defense, becomes a hero. The only Ottoman victory of the war, but everywhere else, defeat. Lawrence of Arabia, leads Arab revolt, promises Arab independence. The Arabs turn against Ottoman rule. 1917 British take Jerusalem, then Baghdad, then Damascus. 1918 The Ottomans are finished. October 30th, Armistice of Mudros. The empire surrenders. The victors carve it up. Britain takes Iraq, Palestine, Transjordan. France takes Syria, Lebanon. Greece gets parts of Anatolia. The Ottoman Sultanate is over, but the empire isn't dead yet. One general refuses to accept defeat. Mustafa Kemal, the hero of Gallipoli. He leads the Turkish War of Independence, defeats the Greeks, defeats French forces, defeats British-backed Armenian forces, reclaims Anatolia for the Turks. November 1st, 1922. Mustafa Kemal abolishes the Sultanate. The Ottoman Empire officially ends. After 623 years, the last Sultan, Mehmed VI, flees on a British warship, dies in exile. 1923 Mustafa Kemal declares the Republic of Turkey, takes the name Atatürk, father of Turks. He transforms everything, abolishes the Caliphate, separates religion and state, changes the alphabet from Arabic to Latin, gives women the right to vote, modernizes law, industry, education, turns an empire into a nation. The Ottoman Empire ruled longer than almost any empire in history. At its peak, 3 continents, 30 million people, 2 million square miles. It preserved Islamic culture during the Crusades, protected trade routes for centuries, built architectural wonders that still stand, but it also committed atrocities. The Armenian Genocide, 1915, over 1 million dead, mass deportations, ethnic cleansing. Its collapse created the modern Middle East, the borders drawn by Britain and France, arbitrary lines, ignoring ethnic and religious divisions. The conflicts still felt today, from Osman's dream of a tree, to Mehmed's conquest of Constantinople, to Suleiman's golden age, to the slow decline, to Atatürk's republic. The Ottoman Empire, 623 years, 3 continents, gone in a day. That's the complete story of the Ottoman Empire. If you want more deep dives into history, subscribe to Squintlab. Next time, we'll explore the fall of Rome. Thanks for watching.